This week has been a bit of a roller coaster for me. On Monday, the market was closed. On Tuesday, I had a really good game plan, the best game plan in the world, and I just failed to execute on it. Then I came in fresh on Wednesday, improving on my mistakes from Tuesday, and I was able to score a really good trade on Wednesday. So this just shows that as traders, doesn't matter what happened the previous day, you have to show up every day as like a new day with a fresh mindset, because you don't know when the next good opportunity is going to show up. So let's first start with my trade ID on Tuesday, which I failed to execute on. So this is the chart of Tesla from Monday and Tuesday. Monday, the market was closed. On Tuesday, we can see that we had a nice sell-off right off the open. This sell-off happened all of a sudden, first of all. A lot of traders were not expecting this sell-off, but I saw this trade incoming, and let me explain why. Because Tesla, if you look at the chart of, say, QQQ for the past 5-6 days, right? And if you QQQ, and we can see that QQQ had a push towards the upside for the past, like I would say 1 week or something, heading into the inauguration day of Trump. But Tesla feels like the market is dragging it towards the upside, but it's not having any individual momentum, right? And on Friday, before the inauguration day, on Monday, we had the MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day. The market was closed, and we also had the presidential inauguration on Monday. So what happened on Friday? We had a push towards the upside, and then we sold off. If you look at the 1 hour chart, on Friday, we had a push towards the upside. Heading into the close, we had some insane selling, and also the volume increased. So we had a nice sell-off heading into the close on Friday, and this can be sell the news kind of situation. Let's take a look at the Discord group and see what I mentioned. This is 5:36 p.m. my time, 8:36 a.m. EST on Tuesday. Tesla might get some sell the news kind of situation. Already saw the chart and the start of it on Friday before close. That's what I mentioned in the Discord group as well, 1 hour before the market opens up. We had a start of a sell-off on Friday. On Monday, we had the inauguration day. On Tuesday, looks like Tesla might actually sell off because it's been holding weaker than the market. Even on the market depth and the tape, the sentiment hasn't been that bullish. Feels like the market is trying to grab it towards the upside because the market has been bullish for the past for the past 10 trading days. But Tesla is still grinding up, but feels like the market is kind of grabbing it, right? It's not having any individual momentum of its own. And that's why heading into the day, at the start of the week on Tuesday, I was like, okay, then inauguration day is done. The hype was real. Heading into the inauguration day, Tesla had a nice rally for the past 2-3 months, but now that news is done. Trump is now president. And after that, I was like, okay, this might actually sell off. And this is called sell the news kind of situation. Like before the news, the market sees a rally or a dump. And then after the actual news, after the news catalyst actually happens, then you might see the move in the opposite direction. And that's what happened on this day. So I mentioned that in the game plan. I mentioned that in the webinar, in the pre-market webinar, in the Discord group as well, but I just failed to execute on it. And that also stems from because last week I had a red week. I was not able to score any good trade opportunities the previous week, the week before the Trump's inauguration. And that I also explained in my latest YouTube video that this is the opportunity cost, right? So last week I took a few stupid trades. I lost money overall for the week. And that's why I was not able to capitalize on this trade on Tuesday itself, the first day of the week. If we go on Tuesday and look at the price action, I tried to take it, but just failed to execute on it properly. We had a nice sell-off right off the open. I took my first position right here, which I exited way too early. Like on this pullback, I exited. Then I took my another position, which was actually a really good trade at the pullback of 415. I caught this flush down with like 50 contracts or something. By this time, I was up around $8,000. On this trade, I only made like $1,700, something like that. And then on this trade, I made another like $6,000-$7,000. So by this time, I was up $8,000. But I think from 10 a.m. to 10:04 a.m., it just takes 4 to 5 minutes. I took like 2 positions, 100 contracts, big position sizing, lost money. And then I lost like $5,000, ending the day around $2,300 in the green. So that's the thing, right? I had the best game plan in the world. And had I executed as per my game plan, my plan was to take 400 puts. They moved from like $2 to a high of $6 or $7. And I was then thinking of taking like 100 contracts, right? So that was a potential 30-40K trade for me, but I just messed up. I was not able to execute properly. And that's why you can have the best game plan in the world. You can have the best signals in the world. And that's why I'm personally against the signals group, because people who are like signals, I signaled it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can't execute on your own game plan, the signals group, I can even show a 10 years old kid to see a chart pattern, a triangle, or maybe a daily range breakout. And I'm like, okay, if this breaks out, it's a nice signal to take it towards the upside or downside. But you need to have the confidence to execute it really well. And that's when you actually make money. Like looking at the pattern, it's pretty easy. Everyone knows that, okay, look for a daily range breakout. Apart from that, don't trade, right? So just look for A plus opportunities. And that's why signals group are like people who are posting signals. Did you actually capitalize on it? If you call out a signal and you yourself are making $20 from it, not a big fan of it, right? So here's my TradeZilla from Tuesday, my stats from Tuesday. You guys can see at the peak, I was up around $7,000, but unrealized at one point of time, I was up around $7,500. My first trade only made $1,700, and this was a potential 30K trade opportunity. Second trade, I lost money because I think I took it on this pullback, maybe somewhere around here, exited my loser, and then I took it again. So this was a nice trade idea. Actually, I made $7,000, but at one point of time, I was up $8,000. Not a big percentage winner, but on Tesla, if you miss out on a move like this, and then later on the pullback, if you make like 35%, it's actually a good trade. But I was just not able to execute properly on this trade. Then again, 10% loser, 2.5% loser. So after being up around $8,000 on a potential 30K trade opportunity missed, I gave back a lot of profits, and then I ended the day with only $2,400 in the green. And I say only, yes, I know $2,400 is a good amount of money, but it's not about the money aspect, right? It's about how you trade and what was your game plan. My game plan was to take 100 contracts, 400 puts. So this was a potential 30K day for me, but I just failed to execute on it. So it doesn't matter if I'm green or red. Did you trade nicely? Focus on the process, and I did not trade nicely on this day. So now this is Wednesday. On Wednesday, I was watching ARM, Microsoft, I was watching Amazon and all these stocks towards the upside. But ARM and Microsoft, they both had a bit of news, and the news was right here. We can see that ARM Holdings and President Donald Trump, he said that they are working on an AI infrastructure project called Stargate, and the total investment is going to start with $500 billion. It might go up to $1 trillion and more. And ARM was a big part of it. So he was like, okay, ARM should focus on making new AI chips like NVIDIA has been doing. And because of that, ARM was seeing some positive reaction in the pre-market. We were gapping up. And even the prior day on Tuesday, we had a push towards the upside. We broke out of this range. And if you go back, we can see that the prior all-time high after it had this rally in 2024, I remember this day, crazy day, we had a high of 164, and we can see that we got rejected from 164 again. So this is a really good level to watch. Like 164, we got rejected right here. We got rejected right here as well. So in the pre-market webinar, I mentioned to the Discord group that if we get a push above 164, 165, I'm going to take ARM for a push towards the upside. We might potentially get into a squeeze mode on the stock. And look what happened. Right off the open, I actually missed out on this first entry right here. But on the pullback right here on the second minute, I entered my position just before the break of 165 right here. And I got this push towards the upside. And this was in squeeze mode. You guys can look at the daily chart. It moved all the way, like it moved approximately 2.53 times the ATR. The ATR has now increased, but $23 for the day, and the ATR was around $7, $6, so which is approximately 3 times the ATR. Just went into squeeze mode. And the other thing is that had I held my whole position on this stock, I would have made like $80,000. I entered 100 contracts. I entered 170 calls. My fill price was $2. The maximum premiums went against me was around 1.83. So even if I exit at 1.7, that means I was risking $3,000, and I made approximately $23,000, which is 8 times risk to reward rate, 7 times risk to reward rate, which is amazing. But again, this just went into squeeze mode. I had no reason to exit. Focus on the 5-minute chart. If you focus on the 5 minutes, it made a new 5-minute low right here, right? So I just don't even blame myself for exiting the position, but let's take a look at my entries and exits and evaluate what I did on this day. On this day, I took 4 trades in total, 3 winners and 1 loser. And we can see that my first trade on ARM made me 115% winner, which is insane, right? Yes, it could have made me 400%, but if I just look at this trade individually without knowing what happened, 115% is amazing. My risk was around $3,000 and I made $23,000 on this trade. So yeah, really good playbook trade. Next trade I tried along on Netflix. We were actually trading on the voice chat with the Discord group. I took this trade live on the voice chat and I lost money. So I made money in front of the Discord members. I lost money in front of the Discord members. Then Meta, I chickened out of this trade. This was actually a good trade towards the upside. Then I tried ARM again on the pullback. So when it pulled back right here, I tried to take it long somewhere around here. It got rejected. So another made like $700. But yeah, I progressively reduced my position sizing after that initial win just because I was not willing to give back profits for the day. And especially on ARM, it had this squeeze more towards the upside. So usually after the squeeze ends, the stock dies down because in that squeeze itself, it moved approximately 3 times the ATR. So once the squeeze kind of ends and then it eventually made a new high of the day right here, got rejected. But yeah, the main play was right within the first 20 minutes of the market open. After that, yes, we had a pullback, small trade, pullback, small trade. But after this squeeze happens, yes, a lot of FOMO kicks in. A lot of retail traders, they try to enter on the pullback like I did with small position sizing. But that usually never ends up working out because it already moved a lot right off the open. Let's take a look at my executions on this trade. You guys can see the playbook is ER/news catalyst and it was a daily range breakout. Along with that, my stop loss was 1.7 on this trade. So my risk was $3,000. Potential profit target was $60,000 on this trade again, because had I just stuck to my potential exit criteria of 5 minutes new high and low, high or low, this was a potential $60,000 trade. If you go in executions, we can see that my first entry was at 9:31 a.m., 100 contracts, $2. My first exit was 50%. Like I exited 50% with a gain of 50%, right? So the premiums went from $2 to $3.12, which is a 50% gain on the premiums. And then after that, it just went into squeeze mode. The last partial, the maximum was around $8.5. You guys can see, had I held my whole 100 contracts, this was a potential $65,000 trade, right? But again, still, if you look at the stats, nothing to complain about. This was a really good trade, executed it nicely, especially coming back from a red week last week and especially messing up on Tuesday's missed trade opportunity on Tesla. So yeah, that's it guys. And that's why it's very important. I always emphasize the fact that you need to have a good daily routine. You need to stick to it because you need to show up every single day like as if nothing happened the previous day. Even after my missed trade opportunity on Tuesday, I was really pissed. I actually will show you guys the Discord message I posted. If we go right here on Tuesday, I mentioned that looks like the virus is still there in my brain because I was sick for the past 1 week. Just blanked out after that initial early exit. Then overtraded, was up 7K, gave back 5K in like 5 minutes. I saw this Tesla drop incoming and I should have done a better job executing on it, period. I can give stupid reasons to myself, but this year the price action has been shit most days. And then if I mess up on a trade like this, there is something to work upon. This is what I mentioned at 7:27 p.m. on 21st of January. Yes, there will be the next opportunity, but if you don't fucking take it to heart and learn from it, your next opportunity won't come until 2065 because you have to work on yourself every single day and you need to show up every single day. It's not like, okay, I made a mistake, I'm going to improve upon it in the next 5 years. Sense of urgency needs to be there, and it sure is for me today. That missed opportunity hurts really bad, right? This is what I mentioned in the Discord group, just keeping it real in there. And then the next day itself, I made $20,000 in total. $23,000 on ARM, $4,000 loss on Netflix, then Meta and ARM again. Overall, $20,251 for the day, which is amazing. If you guys want to join our Discord group, we actually have a promo code which will be expiring end of this week, end of January. The link will be in the description box below with the promo code. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. It helps out the channel a lot. If you are new, subscribe to my channel for a lot more content on day trading. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.